Today we're going to talk about how to antique your metal. So an antique is something that's old or maybe a little bit worn in. So on our metal, we're going to make our metal look a little bit more worn instead of making it so shiny. So this ink is pretty powerful. A little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and just brush on the ink. And it's going to look like it's not sticking to your metal. But what we're going to do in a couple minutes is spread this out. You don't need to paint this perfect. You're just doing a light coverage of ink. Okay, so I'm going to put the brush back in the cup and I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to start to buff the ink into my metal. So you can see as we spread the ink out, how I was talking, a little bit goes a long way. You want to make sure you're getting down into the grooves. I'm just going in circular motions. So now that I've buffed out the majority of the India ink, I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to use this to buff off some of the ink. You don't really want it to be super, super dark. So I'm going in and just going over the surface very lightly. And I actually let it settle in the cracks. I don't really go through and buff that out because it helps bring attention to all those details. And that's how you antique your piece. You want to give this ink a little bit to dry, a little bit of time to dry. But you could go for more of a light antique look, or you could go darker. So this side is what it would look like if you didn't buff all of it off and left some of the ink on. And this is how it would look if you buffed more of your ink off. So this one's a little shinier, and this one's just a little bit of a darker finish.